What's up? My name is Layla, and today I will be analyzing the poem called The Tyger by William Blake. Um, this poem largely draws on Blake's concepts of experience in contrast to innocence. He had this concept of innocence and experience where he contrasted the lamb to the tiger. With that being said, the lamb being of purity and goodness and childlike qualities, expressing this uh, humility and compassion, whereas the tiger poses this darkness and this evil, cunning, egotistical nature that is gained through the weight of sin and exposure. And with that being said, it describes, well, depends how you look at it also, perspective describes the contrary state of the human soul, which is malleable in nature, meaning the soul is shapeable. You cannot be someone who is solely innocent, or someone that is solely of darkness and evil. He says, meaning that it's not ever fixed. There is potential within for either qualities. Um, and that is what we're going to see in this poem. The Tyger. Well, it has 6 quatrains, stanzas. The rhyme scheme, I thought it expressed some type of duality in the lyrical flow of it. AABB, rhyme scheme. And there's so much of rhetorical questioning techniques used here. And Blake does this so that we may think about it, or leading to us to think what was the motivations of this creation, the tiger, because he essentially is questioning God, okay, the high deity, the father of all, God, the universe. Whoever created the tiger, he's questioning them. Okay, let's get into it. He says, Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? And notice the flow of it. It's like a nursery rhyme. It's so like harmless the way he starts with it. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. It's so like childlike. Like it doesn't have any harm unless you think about it. So the alliteration, the repetition, adding to the imagery of fire in the tiger, tiger burning bright. I actually want to read something from this book that I have. The poem opens with the rhyming couplet, the repetition of the words tiger, tiger in the first lines with a strong exclamation mark suggests strength and awe. The lines immediately following by burning bright convey not only the intensity of fierceness in the tiger's eyes and stripes, but also prefigure the fire used to create the tiger, which we'll see in lines 8 and 14. In lines 2, Forest of the Night, which is the place which the tiger inhabits, has a secretive and mysterious connotations, Forest of the Night, which also could draw on the way that Blake doesn't have the answers to the questions that he's asking. In lines 3 and 4, Blake asks what divine being, like what immortal creator, God, could create this fearful creature. How is it possible for the enormous power of the tiger to be controlled or contained or framed? Symmetry points to a further contradictory aspect. The tiger is also balanced and well-proportionated creature of beauty, So, by depicting the tiger as a creature of fearsomeness and dread, Blake also reconciles the contradictory elements of fear and beauty. So, fear and beauty, who could create thee? Can we go to the next lines? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire in thy eyes? Or what wings there he aspire, what the hand there sees the fire? Could see this is metaphorical. Um, in what? So he asks the questions, and then he says, he goes by further emphasizing on the questions, on what distant deeps or skies, suggesting heaven, what space between us and heaven. He questions God. Made you want to create such a beast? Made you want to create this tiger, this creature that kills? Um, Burnt fire in their eyes. Burnt fire is a sustained metaphor from line 1. Where did God get the energy to instill that into the tiger's eyes? Um, Suggesting that the creator really went beyond to create the tiger by putting it in all that he had. Wings are symbolic to aspiration without limits, where he says, on what wings dare he aspire? Suggesting the power of the creator, which one could also make reference to angels, or in the Greek myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun. The idea being that if you aspire to rise too close to heaven, you will be destroyed. Okay, let me think about what? Okay, so suggesting the power of the creator, the power of heaven itself, and essentially not the type of idea that we think heaven is, or that we've been taught, heaven is all about being good and goodness, and maybe it isn't. I mean, maybe it's, a mix of dark and light. You never know. Since, God created this tiger, this concept of experience. What the hand there sees the fire, assimilating human features to God in reference to the human soul being having potential to be and become. What hand there sees the fire? So he gives God the qualities being having a hand. Um, and in doing this, he makes reference to that, going back to the potential that humans can also have, the potential to become this tiger, to have the qualities of this tiger, to be of darkness, of evil, of to be a creator within themselves. They have choice to choose the way they set themselves, the way they compose themselves and carry themselves. Okay, stanza 3. And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what tread hand and what tread feet? So this addresses the aestheticness, also the creator. Like, just ask these questions, and what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? Like, what made your heart want to do this? And when the heart of that tiger began to beat, didn't you see like how fearful it was? Do you just allow it like this? How could you? He's just, like, asking God this. um, Also, yeah, he's personifying the tiger to man. Just always keep that in mind. um, the contrary state of the human soul, the state of the human soul experience. The third stanza, the word shoulder in the first line parallels to the word hand in the second stanza, and the rhetorical questions continue. Up till this stage, the creator has been associated with fiery images. What the hand there sees the fire, and the creator has been given this image of being this blacksmith and this creator that just, has so much of power, but now takes on the surgeon, a role of a surgeon who twists the sinews of thy heart, who twists the strings of the heart. And so that began to beat in the last line. The power of the creator is described. Moving on, what the hammer, okay, this is like the language change here. What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, there its deadly terrors clasp. Gives the god the image of a blacksmith, when you're working with metal and iron and you just gotta like make it hard to shape it, working in the workshop, being, shaping all this weapons of, you can say weapons, like shaping these weapons. What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? In what fire was your brain? What were you thinking? What the anvil, like what tools, what were you using to make this creature, this predator, this creature that would take death as it pleases, he says. What were you thinking? Language use here, God is being like described to be like this blacksmith working, crafting. What were you doing, he says. Okay. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? And when he was done making this creature, this tiger, this creature that is so, so different to a lamb, this predator, when did he smile? Was he happy? Was he happy when it was over? The stars threw down their spears, a metaphor as he points of the stars are compared to spears, and weep because of the destructiveness and the evil power of the tiger that has been generated. Blake asks whether the God who made the lamb, the lamb associated with goodness and purity and childlike innocence, a symbol of mercy and kindness, could possibly be the same God who created this tiger in existence. Are you sure you made this and this? Did you make the lamb make thee? Yeah, Blake is still not, he still doesn't get the answers that he's asking. Did God get satisfaction when he made this tiger? When he made this other end of the spectrum? Okay, then going on to the last stanza. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? So he puts the first stanza again, he as the last stanza, but the word that changes here is the word dare. And he puts this for emphasis, the word dare, dare is substituted for could from the first stanza. And in doing this, the poet points to the courage of the creator in creating such a fearsome creature. This single word change also implies that Blake questions whether God should have released such a destructive power on the world. in creating this tiger. You see this vivid imagery, this changings um, from what he once thought, like, God to be this power that created the lamb, has also the power to create the tiger, and my my drawing on my perspective on this, I think I wrote it. Did I write an essay on this? Yeah, I think I did had to do that. Write an essay on this poem, and for me it was all about choice. It was all about because I was looking at it in terms of the human soul, the human darkness and light, whole type of spectrum, yin and yang type of thing. And I just eventually I came to this balance of thought that, even though it's an extreme idea of darkness that's being portrayed, evilness of this predator, of this ferocious beast of a creature, the tiger, but there has to have been they there has to be balance. There has to be polarities. You have the law of polarities. Now this is the extreme. Like, you have the lamb. Now this is the tiger. God put it there because He's God. God is God, and yeah. But it's a beautiful poem. It makes you question a lot. Makes you also think a lot, and makes you also think, God, is He really all that good? Is He really all that bad? We will never know, but He gives us this choice of being of good or bad. And this poem, although it is about a tiger, the deeper meaning of it is that it also pertains to the human soul, the way humans can choose to be. You can choose to be an asshole. You can choose to be someone that's not an asshole. Depends on you. And yeah, I hope I made sense with it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know what you think if you do think about anything else. Like, subscribe, do what you must. And yeah, thank you. And yeah, goodbye.